Hello, everyone. My name is Kelly Kreinsick, and today I'll be going over the stages of writing development. Thank you. So, what are the development stages of writing? So, stage one is random scribbling, 15 months to 2.5 years. Stage two is controlled scribbling, 2 years to 3 years. Stage three, we see lines and patterns, which is about 2.5 years to 3.5 years old. Stage four is pictures of objects or people, and that tends to be from years 3 to 5. And then stage five is the letter and word practice. So let's spend some time with each stage. So stage one is random scribbling. And so this isn't where the child is going to do letters or anything like that, but more larger hand movements and uses their fists to write in consistent pressure. So fine lines and thick lines, may write off the paper because, again, they don't have those fine motor skills to really grasp the pencil. So what can you do when your child is in this stage to really encourage and promote writing development? Set up a regular time to scribble. So give your child, lots of unlined papers and fun markers and just allow them to write and scribble. Call it writing, right? Let's do some writing today. As your child scribbles, talk about the things that are meaningful to him and have them draw pictures of those types of things. Stage two is controlled scribbling. And so this is the beginnings of a grasp with finger and thumb, so a little bit more control over the pencil, but we're still scribbling. So things you can do at home is to write about fun things that they do and write sentences that your child actually dictates to you so they can see that, written word has meaning. The next thing you can do is create a pattern language chart. So I like to eat, my toy is, and so they can see that these, we call them like sentence starters. And so they can kind of add different things at the end, but they can recognize the first part of the sentence is the same. So it's almost like they're reading. And then to provide writing materials to use during pretend play, right? Incorporate writing into the things that they do in playtime, and even if it's just scribbling. Stage three, we see lines and patterns, and we begin imitation marks of others like lines or shapes. And it's still a little primitive looking, but they get more control over their pencil. They're able to maybe replicate some letters that they have seen and are comfortable with. And so things that you could do at home to really support that is set up a writing center so they can use it with all kinds of markers and, things that they can write on, junk mail, blank pages, stamps, anything like that. And then model authentic writing. We know so many of our children learn from what we do and what we say. So if they see that you are writing lists and you're filling out forms, let them kind of be a part of that. Really gets them to understand the value of writing. And then continue with morning messages, sentence dictation, pattern language charts from the previous stage. Stage four is pictures of objects or people. So we can kind of see that they're starting to have a lot of control over their fine motor skills with their fingers, and they're able to draw pictures of what they're thinking and what to write, and then even mirror some letters. So they're continuing to practice lines. They're getting more comfortable tracing, and yes, they're interested in imitating letters. So what you can do is have them write out words that they think they can spell. So bat, you can see here is BT, which is excellent, right? They're understanding that these symbols have meanings and these sounds put together make words, and it's actually really great. Provide a simple alphabet chart with pictures so your child has a reference for spelling sounds so they can spell these really easy CVC words like bat, BAT. Teach your child to stretch out the words when spelling them. So a lot of times we separate words when we want to spell it out to a child to see if they can read it, at. But that's really hard if it's that segmented. So instead you want to kind of stretch it out, so bat, and then they're more likely to hear it. And so that really can help with early spelling. And then aim for writing 3 times a week. If you can fit it in for 10 or 15 minutes each time, then that's excellent and really promote it. Stage 5 is the letter and word practice. So here we see real sophistication and of the fine motor skills for 3 to 5 years of age, and so they're able to write these letters with a little bit more ability to read them. So, pencil grasp becomes maturing, more complex drawings, they're learning the letters and words, so they're able to write some of these CVC words, these consonant, vowel, consonant words. So we really want to encourage journal writing, even if, there's still some scribbling or they don't know all the words, but just the joy of writing, I think, can start really young. Have your child write for different purposes. They can help you with the shopping list. They can help write letters, things like that. And, always showing them how to use dictionaries. They have children's dictionaries, which would be appropriate for this age with a lot of pictures. And yeah, we want to move on to, towards 5 years old to the conventions of writing, so punctuation, capital letters, and usually we start with names with the capital letters, the big A, the small a, and things like that. So what can you do to encourage early writing skills at home? So, let your child use writing tools such as pencils, markers, chalk, all these types of things that your child can have access to. Encourage your child to use drawings to express ideas and tell stories. So many times we have them say it out loud, which is totally fine. But what if they were to say it out loud with a picture that they drew? Show that your child that written words are part of daily life. So show that, writing is everywhere in so many different forms. Teach your child to print her first name. So this takes a lot of time, but it's one of the first things that students learn in kindergarten or preschool because it shows them that letters make sounds and they have meaning. So when they see there's, these symbols, that means that, means their names, they understand that, these symbols have a reason and writing is, very important and it holds a lot of different meanings. So label your child's belongings with her name and let your child label some of her own things. That's a really good way to personalize writing. Hands-on for kinesthetic learners, they can, mold clay letters of the alphabet. And then this is really a popular one. Help your child create a pretend menu using pictures of food from newspapers and magazines. So this is another way to kind of visually write things together, which I think is really a fun thing to do. So the sources that we have, I've listed all here, and I really would recommend you, if you have time, to take a look at these sources. They offer, a little bit more in-depth details of literacy development and writing development and milestones for children. And yes, please click if you're able. So we've listed some books on the website that have, we feel kind of match these types of things. So please feel free to click on the link. Thank you so much.